It's
All right, we're back. Part two, Sulphur or Urn, and also previous Barathrum. Is that how you pronounce it? Barathrum? I say you cut out your audios.
sorry,
Your audio cut out. How do you pronounce it?
bathroom,
Barathrum. Okay, yeah.
but
Close
in
enough.
Finland we say bathroom.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So
Like,
I'm known for mispronouncing stuff on the channel, so I'm told.
yeah,
So you have seen actually he said who it was. Who was it that connected us? Like, how do you know him? Like, I forget what's his name, Craig or the guy that connected us to do this interview.
Tony,
Tony. And how? Okay, so who?
Tony and Ed from the Tampa morgue.
Oh, so it's him. Oh, so it's him. Okay. And
Yeah,
because so he just watches the channel. Is that what it is? Or
yeah, they are watching your channel. Yeah, and there's Tony just say to me, you need to do interview with Justin, and he said, oh, I'm gonna sort this out, and I send a message, and so it's but Tony and Ed been really supportive the past weeks. Like I did a interview with them. Have you seen the listen their podcast at all?
no. I don't. Yeah.
Man, there is a was it 5.5 hours of chat with Mantas from Venom,
Really?
over 5 hours, and Cloven Hoof interview 3.5 hours and
How the
stuff
hell did
like.
you get the? I mean, is it in person or is it through Zoom? No, maybe did he record them in person or is it through Zoom? Because 5.5 hours, that's a hell of a long time to sit there.
We did a video meeting, but it wasn't Zoom. I don't remember what was the platform.
Oh shit.
So we did a video, and they just released only the voice and some pictures scrolling on the background. But it was really cool, and they have a shitload of nice interviews.
Yeah. Okay. No shit.
And 5 hours, there's a killer stories for every guy. There's always something.
It's funny because I actually tried to get Mantis kind of recently, and I probably definitely would have unless he said no, which I doubt he would have. Just this past January, Venom Inc. played here in Cleveland, and I've seen Venom Inc. a couple times. The last time I seen him is when it was Mantis and Abaddon in the band. The only guy was not, and then Demolition singing. The only guy was not Kronos, which, in my opinion, the whole point of Venom Inc. was basically Kronos doesn't get along with Mantis and Abaddon, from my understanding. So they just did it under names because of legal reasons. But
Yeah,
now, and then so Abaddon, from what I heard through the grapevine, I don't know how true it is. He's out of the band because he knocked some chick up and his wife is fucking pissed, so he's out. And then now even Mantis doesn't do it, like has health problems or something. So I'm like, what the fuck? Why the hell am I gonna go? That's remember I was saying about bands. Like I was like, this is a goddamn cover band. I was like, there's literally no guys. And then the kicker was like, yeah, the guitar player. He's this guy from which I don't know how he's from Akron, Ohio, the state I live in. I'm like, whoa, he's not even from England. I was like, this is a fucking joke. I'm not going to that. But I thought Mantis was still playing in the band, and I had every intention I was going to interview him. But I was like, I'm not going that, man. No original guys, and fuck that. But I
and,
wanted to,
and
and I wanted to interview Mantis, but it didn't work out.
yeah, but we ain't growing any younger, so never knows
Right.
what's happened. So that's crazy.
Bucket list is my main person I want to get now of all of them is King Diamond. And I've talked to their manager. I was like, I'll fly down to Texas and meet up with them on his time because I would love to do it in person. And they're like, yeah, he's wanting to save up to do interviews when the new record comes out, an advertisement. But his manager actually replied and everything because usually like when I try to set up interviews, it's just no reply. I'm like, tell me to fuck off, say something. But it's usually just nothing. But I was like, oh shit, the management actually replied, and it sounded promising. But I was like, all right, well, you bet your ass when that new album comes out, you're gonna be hearing from me. But I was like, yeah, I'll get on a plane, I'll fly down there, I'll rent a car, no problem. My time, just tell me where you want me to meet you, homie, because King Diamond's not meeting up with my dumbass. You know what I mean? You got to go to him.
Of
So
course, yeah, that's if you're gonna get that interview that with
yeah,
all.
exactly. That's even if he might even say pound soul. I don't want to do an interview with this idiot. I saw his interviews and I don't want to talk to this guy, which fair enough. Also,
No, but that would be amazing. Even King Diamond is he's so good storyteller. Even it's that would be entertaining for sure.
did you have a? Most people do. I was a fan of everything. I mean, don't be wrong. Some of the really last few King Diamonds, there's some songs here and there I didn't like, but most people have a cutoff album, especially guys your age. Did you have a cutoff album for Merciful Fate, King Diamond, or did you like everything, or what was kind of like? What was your take on
I like them all, of course.
them?
There's a
Mm-hmm.
better ones, worst ones, but
Yeah,
example, King Diamond, Give Me a Soul. I love that album.
same. I think it's really good too. There's a few
Hey,
songs. There's a few songs I think, yeah, but for the most part, I was like Floating Head's a really good song. Um, what's that? Never Ending Hill.
yes.
What's that ballad song? What's the really slow song? It's Shapes of Black. That's a really good song.
No, but
Um,
you are a bit younger than me, so you are good in those names. I just forget everything.
oh, dude, I'm getting back. Dude, I used to be really good. I used to be really good when I was a teenager. Dude, I could almost name you almost every song and identify on Carcass's Recaputrefaction. And that's a talent right there, God damn it. Now I'm terrible. Like I forget like a motherfucker shit.
That's
So
normal.
but by the time I'm 50, I'll be really bad. Yeah. But I used to
Yeah,
be really good when like, between like age 15 to like 21, I was pretty damn good. Like I can name some songs and like legitimately knew them. Like if I walked in, especially like bands like Deicide or Cannibal Corpse, if I walked in within 20 seconds, I could tell you what song, like exactly what song it is. No, just put any album on shuffle, I'll be able to tell you. Now,
yeah,
can I do that? I can do that on a lot of the albums, but not everything.
yeah. Well, be aware. It go worse anyways.
Yeah.
There will be a day when you walk to the kitchen and you start thinking, what the fuck am I going to do here? I don't even remember. Then you walk back and oh, that was the thing. And
Yes, but plus you guys over in Finland and Holland and Sweden and Norway who speak generally very, very good English based off my experience from foreign speaking. That's which you have a native language, but you also speak English. Those are usually, and Denmark's another one where it seems like your English is very good. As far as I'm concerned, you're way more intelligent than us dumbass Americans because we have one language to remember, and hell, I can barely even do that. So I should be able to remember song names more than you can because you got double the words to remember just on language alone.
yeah, kind of true. Yeah. I think in Finland we start to learn English in third grade or something like that.
You know, what's funny is, like I said, generally speaking, Finland was one of the countries to where, yeah, I meet them and the English is really good. And when you were talking an email, that was one of your concerns about the English. I'm like, you should be fine. And then as I was thinking about the next day, I'm like, oh shit, hope he isn't like, I forget his name. It was a pleasure meeting him and talking to him. It was at Metal Threat, but it was the drummer from the band Morgul. Do you know them?
Yeah, they're a bit younger guys, but I we
Yeah.
played with them last year, or was it November? I think we played it in December with them here in Finland.
Yeah. I really liked them a lot. That's a newer black metal band. I'm like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome. It's like really blasting and fast, but with memorable songs and really good guitar solos. So I was thoroughly impressed. I liked their EP a lot and their full length. Big fan. And when
Yeah,
they played Metal Threat, not this past one, but 2 years ago. And I
yeah.
did some interviews there. But I don't know if you know the story. Um, the singer, which I didn't know until I was there, the singer, which is the drummer's brother, didn't know that. He couldn't get into the country. So they played Metal Threat just as an instrumental. So
Okay.
because they travel without visas, and when he got there, they told he was the only one that got caught. I guess they traveled separately, told his ass to turn around. So when they came up to me, the guys, but especially the drummer, and I was talking to him extensively, but his no disrespect, his English was still better than my Finnish is because I don't know a single word in Finnish. But I was surprised. I was like, oh, his English is really broken because I was thinking about asking him to do an interview because I did some interviews there. I did one with Lord Shabbathan from Enthroned and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and a few others. But as I was talking to him, I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "There's no way I could do an interview." His English was like he didn't understand much, and I was very surprised by that because everyone else from Finland I met, I was like, their English was like really good. So about a day after you said that in the email, I was like, oh shit, hope he's not like the Morgul drummer because that might be a problem. Because I was going to ask him for an interview. I was like, this ain't gonna work. I was like, he don't understand shit.
Yeah, but sometimes, when someone speaks with the strong pronouncing, it's a bit hard to understand. So I was a bit worried, but you are blasting me. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
the Aussies, they have a potato in their mouth and mumbling something, for
I
fuck's
try.
sake.
I try to slow it down. I mean, and I've been told this since I was a teenager, meeting foreign bands and stuff because I've been going to shows since I was 13 years old. And I remember meeting the guys in Sinister from Netherlands and stuff, and tons of foreign bands. So I've been told at a very early age, like, whoa, you talk really fast. That's just naturally how I am. So I do try, like when I do the interviews, and I mean, I'm not very good at it, but I try to talk slower and pronounce more than when I'm in my natural videos and natural talking. Because yeah,
Oh.
it's like you're not gonna understand. So I try to anyways. So
Yeah, but somehow you have a band, no? Do you have a band?
I
So you
don't.
need some sort of a natural burst out anyway. So
Yeah, yeah,
the aggression comes through the words or something like that. Then
yeah, yeah. Me. So I don't know if you know the story behind Hell's Headbangers. That's why I do the channel. It's me, my brother Eric, and my brother Chase. We own the company together, and we started it in 2001. And we were just kids. We just started for fun, and we started in 2001. So I would have been 16, and they're a couple years older than me. So Chase would have been like 17, and then Eric would have been like 18. That's how old we were when we started it, just for fun. But our younger brother, he's 2 years younger than me. He was the only one that was in bands. He does his own band, Crucified Mortals, which is like a death thrash band. You should check him out. You might like him. He started that in the very early 2000s. I think you might like it, or I don't think you definitely wouldn't think it sucks at the very least. And he was in the band Nunslaughter for about 10 years on bass.
okay,
And I'm sure you
cool.
know who Nunslaughter is.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Anyways, I'm familiar with your label, of course. When you are in the scene or playing in bands, you know the labels who release the best stuff, and
Yeah.
so
Well, it's just funny because even like either it went past you or maybe you forgot because it was a co-release. I forget what was it, Primitive Reaction as well. Maybe it was them. I forget. Again, this is years ago, but I forgot about it myself. Like Flame, the March of the what's it, March into the Firelands?
yeah.
Yeah, we did release that CDLP, but it was the U.S. version only. I'm pretty sure that was the contract, and I think it was Primitive Reaction that did the European. Could be wrong on that.
I think it was Primitive Reaction, yeah.
Yeah. So even myself, I forgot about that. But
Yeah, but remember to check those the tracks.
hmm,
YouTube, they are amazing. It's recorded at Chris' place, the same place where I'm recording my solo stuff at the moment.
hmm,
I'm doing 3 songs. You know, I like the past years being the most creative for me since ever. Like I have 16 songs for solo material and 8 new songs for Earn, and it's like the less recognition we get, the more songs I will make. kind
yeah,
of.
yeah. Now is Flame? They're not scheduled to play Metal Threat, are they? I can't remember on the flyer. I would be surprised though.
Oh,
They're not. Are they on it?
no, they are not playing there.
And they ever been in the states ever?
Not Flame, but Simo played in Adoria and they toured in
Okay, yeah,
USA.
okay.
Flame
Now
never been.
is there any other newer bands of when I say new, to me, if you're within the last 10 years, you're a new band, in my opinion. Is there anything that you really like in the metal scene that you're not, but you're not friends with them? Like that's the caveat. Like you don't know them personally, you're not friends, but you heard on your own the last 10 years, like I really like this band. Is there anything? As I find with the
Yeah,
older guys, as you get there more and more, it becomes less and less.
yeah. I'm just trying to basically the newer bands. I know the guys somehow, and that's the way to get into to even to listen to music. But I'm trying to. Is there any bands that I don't know the guys and I like the music? For fuck's sake, that's a hard question. I cannot answer. There's nothing
Okay,
coming
is
to
there
my
is
mind.
there any is there any that you really like the music, despite the fact that you're friends too, or know them at least?
I think there's a in Tampere it's band called Beatrix. Beatrax.
Okay,
They're
I call okay Beach. Is that they're from Finland?
yeah, quite new band, young guys,
I've
but
seen the name.
black trash kind of stuff. They're playing quite a lot in Tampere, their hometown. It's like they have formed less than 5 years ago or something like that. But they seem to be promising.
What
But
is your take? What is your take on bands like say Satanic War Master?
I'm not a fan of black metal, so for me, like Horn and Satanic War Master is like I just I don't understand the music.
Okay.
That's I'm just my mindset is somewhere else. It's I've never been really into black metal kind of bands. There's some
So
black metal I like, but my mindset is it's a bit different. So it's hard to get into.
you mentioned Mayhem. What was the last thing you liked by Mayhem?
The Death Cross and the Mysteries Dom Satanas.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
you didn't.
crown.
Yeah, and so bands like Emperor and Gorgoroth, Immortal. You didn't like any of that stuff.
I like Immortal a bit, yeah. They have some nice tracks, but for me, I pick up Nifelheim or Merciless from Sweden.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's not very long time ago. I listened every release of a Merciless. It's that band. It was so amazing. That's kind of a death trash. It's I love that band.
The Awakening. That was the first record Euronymous ever signed, right? Am I correct on that? Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure that was the story. Yeah.
and that's that album. It's for fuck's sake.
It's
That
it's aggressive and angry too.
yeah.
You know, it's not just like Nifelheim. The self-titled Nifelheim album is yeah one of my favorite black metal records ever because it has tons of aggression.
Yeah,
Now there's a lot of bands that were influenced by it and come since, but what was that? What year did that album come out? 96 maybe? That first Nifelheim? 95, 96, somewhere around there.
something like that. Yeah,
And it was like nobody else sounded like that. And that's you know what I mean?
evil. Yeah,
Yeah. And that was it's funny you say because I mean I like bands like Satanic War Master and stuff like that. It's funny because their earlier stuff I didn't care for that much. I liked them on their like whatever that Carillion Satanist Madness. I think that was like the fourth record, third or fourth record. I thought they got a little bit better as time went on. Started liking some of them, but they're one of the few exceptions because a lot of it for that reason, it wasn't like a Niflheim or it had its own sound or punch. I'm like a lot of this, it just all just blurs together to me. And it seems like I don't know. I get called out on the channel off of that because people think like I'm not like what are you talking about? I'm like I was like, I can't be the only one that thinks this fucking shit. So
do you like the do you like newer Niflheim, like the latest ones they have done?
you know what the I haven't heard the latest ones because the third one is that the Envoy Lucifer.
Yeah,
Is that the third one?
yeah,
I thought all the stuff was decent, but it started to get a little bit more like watered down, like a little more thrashy, less aggression.
yeah.
Because I think the first album is the best thing they did, and then Devil's Force I think is very good, but a bit of a step down. The production on it is a little bit weak, like the vocals are a pinch muffled out, but still very good. But from it just seemed like on Envoy it was a little bit more watered down, so I kind of stopped just paying attention. But I've heard stuff. I remember when they did a 7-inch, they did that split with Volcano. No, it's all quality metal, but it just didn't seem to have the same punch that the first two records have.
Yeah, they had a that's some sort of a heavy metal influence in between, but the mini LP, how does it's right way to pronounce it? But Satanatas, that's the
Mm-hmm.
latest. That was amazing. But the thing is like they're twin brothers and they're not friends anymore. They have recorded album, but they are arguing about the mix, and it's been for years. So both have own bands. New Nifelheim is recorded, but do we ever see the light of the day?
So
Or
they're at the point, even though they're brothers, because yeah, I knew they were brothers. They're at the point to where they don't even speak.
that's what I heard. Yeah, they are completely like not speaking at all.
That's pretty bad. Like, I mean, like, especially if your brother, I mean, unless he'd like try to like fuck your wife or something, like that's
Yeah,
like what did you got? What was the argument that bad about? Like,
I don't know, but
that's it's got to be pretty
that must be
extreme.
deep. That
Yeah.
must be deep. Yeah, and the worst thing is that they have recorded an album. It's only about
So there,
mixing.
so there's a full length album already recorded. And it's just sitting there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
Being
shit! You think they would just swallow their pride at least because a band like Nifelheim, and I can tell you because they do Hell's Headbangers, because I know we would offer them money. They're not gonna get. They're gonna get offered actual money. Not. Hey, here's $1,000, bro. Like, you think they would just swallow their pride and like, all right, well, let's just get this out and at least since it's recorded, at least take. And it's no, it's not all about the money, but it's already done. Just take
mm,
the money. Let's say it's 10 grand and take 5 grand each, and just let the label do. You think they'd at least do that? Like,
no idea, uh, but there's something how should I say like we think the scene is gone, but there is still something to dig, and there is some jewels that is are still hidden, and we just hope they will come up.
yeah. Now, have you ever met those guys in Nifelheim?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah,
And how do they seem in person?
yeah, really friendly guys, yeah.
Okay, I hear from what I heard, they love Iron. I mean, you brought up, and I heard they're like huge Iron Maiden fans.
Yeah, I think they when Maiden is on tour, they are always wherever is Iron Maiden.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I heard as well.
I've heard similar shit. Yeah, yeah. I've heard that.
So they are really diehard fans.
Yeah, and like both of them, just both of them are.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they agree. That's weird. That they're not talking. Trying to be curious what that fuck it is. Like why they're on non-speaking terms. You
yeah.
know.
You set up an interview with the guys.
I would love to. And the thing is I don't think that they like us too much. I've heard from people I met like they've made a comment like, "Hey, Hell's Headbangers has sold hundreds of Niflheim bootleg shirts," and it's like,
Okay.
man, you guys sure do have a lot of confidence in yourself. I'm like, we've had Niflheim bootleg shirts, but I mean, we've had bootlegs of tons of shirts. I'm like, you get like 10, 15 at a time. Like, what do you mean 100? like, like just I don't know if it was said sarcastically. It was said to somebody that used to work to us, and they probably because he went to a show in I think when they played Chicago or something and met him, and the comment was made. So I don't know if they hate us or what. It's like, well, why don't you just like hit us up or what? I was like, because we just get everything from all distributors and shit like that, official, but like everything because we just stock everything because we're a metal store. I was like, you
Yeah.
guys are a popular band, and I've even said on my channel and have said to emails like, if you're in a popular band, and Niflheim's a popular band in the underground, and if you don't want your stuff bootlegged at all, I'll tell you how you fix that. You make sure it's done officially. So either do it yourself or license it out to a company like Hell's Headbangers, whoever, to where they're just paying you a monthly rate to license your merch. And that way, people in Mexico and stuff, they won't bootleg your shit because it's available. They only
Yeah.
bootleg stuff that's not available, like bands
Yeah.
like Bolt Thrower and stuff like that that's not making their stuff. I'm like, so make it available and it won't be bootlegged. I was like, because otherwise there's no way of stopping it. I was like, especially the South Americans, they're just going to put it out. And we trade with everybody because that's how we move. People say, "Oh, why do you trade with them?" Because that's how we spread our bands. You trade with every distro and everything because you're getting your stuff. Like, let's say we put out, Flame or Earn. You get that
Yeah.
over into that little Mexican distro over into Singapore. You know what I mean? You're pushing it everywhere
Yeah. Yeah.
across the globe. So it's like that's how you push it, man. I was like, so
Yeah.
it's more about that's you're trying to move your bands and put it. I was like, so yeah. And if somebody's like, hey, I got some Niflheim shirts. Do you want to do a trade? And yeah, fuck yeah, of course we're going to.
Yeah. And
So
you can't keep the track what is bootleg all the time, and you just
1,000%.
you do a trade, and it's a trade, and you're
Exactly.
right.
Some of it, and you're setting it up, and so much of it is you're dealing with hundreds and hundreds of contacts. Like, dude, I'm not asking for a goddamn show me proof, man. You gotta and as you know, probably with Earn, because people ask that, on the channel for Hell's Headbanger stories, like how much of it's like contracts and stuff like that. I was like, we have some written contracts. I was like, but most of it is just a handshake deal for email. There's no
Yeah,
fucking contract. It's just, yay, put it out. We'll send you 20%. I'm sure that's probably most of the deals you've done, something along those lines, just through email. You didn't sign anything. I could be
that's
wrong
the
on that, but
underground.
yeah, exactly right. Yeah, yeah. So what that said is, you don't know what's official and what's not. You're not policing it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
So I heard they're mad about that. So, but I would love to do an interview with them, and no doubt about it. But I have a feeling they might turn interviews down too because they don't want to be asked that question. Just like, for example, I'm curious if it was asked, you brought up that 5 hour Mantis interview. If it was asked about, well, so what's the deal with you guys in Kronos? Like, what is the actual, like what's the problem?
yeah. But take a listen of that's
Is
a
it in
good
there?
interview.
Did you listen to all 5 hours?
Not completely, but I'm maybe somewhere in a halfway or something
So
like
you're
that.
you're just kind of chipping away at it a little bit, like listening to a little bit here, a little bit there.
Yeah, I've been doing quite a lot of interviews since past month, so it's hard to concentrate on interviews. Sometimes I cannot listen to music when I'm answering, but some podcasts and stuff like that goes a bit more easier. So I'm not a multi-talent and I cannot listen to too much and type my own shit. But
Now, is this the first time you've been doing interviews? Because like if I was to search YouTube, there's probably not a bunch of videos that pop up with you as interviews on it. I'm assuming.
this is the first video one, yeah.
So all the rest you said you've been doing interviews. They're just for zines. I'm assuming.
Yeah, only for
So this is the first time you're. What's that?
typing and typing and typing.
Oh yeah, shit. So that's yeah, it really takes some time.
Some hours, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so this is the first video you're on, period. Then, like you've never been on video for it, like even like a short, like somebody came up to you at a show and you're in corpse paint and nothing.
No, we haven't done any video interviews, yeah.
Okay, shit. Never even been asked.
No, the
Oh wow.
Tampa interview was on video, but they only released the voice, so
Okay.
that's the only one.
Yeah. Now, when you guys play like in Finland, let's say you were the main headlining band. What is that?
Second,
That's
my
your
dog
dog?
Lola. Second,
My damn dog barking. He's going crazy.
she get jealous, Daddy is speaking
You
to no one.
you live alone?
I have a I have a three kids, but the youngest one is living with me every second week.
Damn shit. Okay. So
And
so you
imagine I'm already a grandpa. My oldest son got his own son a year ago, so life is changing kind of
yeah. Damn. Yeah. Hell yeah, it
scary,
is.
man. It's scary.
What do they think of do your kids like the what do they think of Earn and shit like that and metal in general? Like what do they
Like my son, he used to, when he was really young, he used to like metal when we were listening Metal Lucifer and stuff like that. Then
yeah.
he started listening some stupid rap or whatever was the fashion. But
Uh,
in these days, it's some years ago, he said, "Hey, Dad, I like Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath and stuff like that." And he's back into metal. He also likes Enforcer, this Swedish.
of course, yeah. Sweet Trash Man.
Yeah.
Now, what does he say about a band like your band, Erm? Like, does he just think it's noise, or what is he?
Actually, I haven't asked what is the what's he like, but my youngest daughter she's 13. She's on the music video with the latest music video. She's acting on the video, and my middle daughter has shoot some videos for another video as well, and she's puking black blood from her mouth on the
Uh,
video. So they are kind of involved in the
Yeah.
band.
Now, is it does her mom like that or no?
Actually, the funny thing is that, like, my brother played in a band called Hell Spirit. Do you know the band?
That's just the name. I've seen it.
Anyways, my mother was telling to me that, do you know your brother has a band and they have a gig? I said, yeah, I know because we are playing with Ern on the same gig.
Oh, so your mom didn't even know you're in a band?
She knew that I have a band, but my brother's band was more
Popular.
popular for her. Like, so I wouldn't say popular, more there was some more value, you know.
Okay.
I'm the oldest son and the most badly treated one, and my brother was kind of a mother's precious one.
So, like your brother, what does he think of Earn? Does he like it too, or is that something he would listen to, or no?
Yeah, he likes Ern, and sometimes we've been even talking. He's a drummer, so we've been talking. Should he join in Ern? But it's not possible, you know. 3 days is maximum for me that I can stand that guy.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's just too much, you
I,
know.
yeah.
It's not possible, you know.
No, it's like yeah, it's I understand that because like I said, I do this with my brothers, but I'm at the warehouse right now because it's just a better connection for Zoom. But they work at home, and some people ask, yeah, you don't sound like, dude, if we had to be around each other all day, every day, I was like, that wouldn't work. I was like, there's no
You would
fucking
kill
way.
each other.
1,000%. Yeah,
Yeah,
1,000%. So it's so yeah, I understand 100%. Yeah.
yeah. So why do we even think why Nifelheim twins are?
Yeah, but no, that Dick, I do, but I'm saying that's extreme to where you're on non-talking terms.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, yeah, exactly. Drop. You're on my nerves, and hey, just I don't want to be around them tomorrow. But to the point where it's like where you can't even speak, like that's a little extreme, I think.
yeah, that's yeah. Maybe we know the story someday. Maybe someone
You want to? They
gives
see
an
this
interview.
they see this video, which I doubt they're watching my ass. Fuck yeah,
Yeah,
jump on
no,
it. Either
yeah,
any of the
yeah, no,
guys,
I will
Hell
get some
Butcher, any of
tips
them.
as well.
Yeah. We guys want to jump on, talk to fucking Nifelheim, bitch about Hell's Headbangers having bootleg shirts or whatever the hell you're playing about. We can talk about all that
Yeah,
too. Yeah, I'm an open book. We can talk about it. God damn it. Confront me right on camera. I'll tell you.
yeah, and world Niflheim guys, world is waiting for the new album.
Did you, well, speaking of that, so we did it as a side project, Hell Butcher. It's funny because I was re-listening that like a couple weeks ago, but I've owned the CD since, I don't know, year it came out or something. The Necro Curse album, The Grip of the Dead. Do you know that?
No, I haven't heard.
You don't know the band Necro Curse?
No.
Oh, that shit's fucking great, dude. It's yeah, the Hell Butcher from Nifelheim, his side project band. It's like I guess his death metal band, but it's totally you can tell the
Yeah.
vocals, everything. Dude,
Second,
you're
my dog
yeah,
is
he's going
barking like
crazy.
hell again.
I must be chasing some goddamn pussy. Saw some pussy in the window. It
I take the bastard here.
was a little dog.
Das Hund.
Do you see a pussy cat in the window?
Actually, I hunt with her.
Oh
So
shit.
she's a hunter. So every time she's patrolling on the window, if there is a rabbit or deer, whatever, she barks like hell.
What do you hunt? Deer or
Deer and rabbit and some birds, but she's she's completely into rabbit hunt.
what is the laws in Finland for deer hunting? Like for us, it's like very seasonal. Like it's like in November, and like shotgun is like 2 weeks long. I don't know the exact laws, but it's like you can't just go out now and shoot deer with shotgun. You get arrested. Like how is it over there?
We have our own seasons as well, and you cannot hunt deer you're alone. You need some sort of a group. At
Okay.
least they say you must have to make an applications to government and plan and how many people are involved and you know like a strict plan. But smaller deers, you can just grab your gun and whenever it's season and go and hunt.
Okay.
But I think we have a bit tighter laws than you in USA with the guns and stuff.
Probably, but based on what I hear.
Yeah, but still, it's like if you want a gun, it's easier to have from a gun from black market than make an applications. It's not really easy one, but
But if you get caught and you don't have a
then
license, like,
yeah, then you lose all.
but I
So
mean, like, what do you know what the punishment is? And is it like prison time or is it just a fine or?
if you have some, if you buy a, actually, I know there was one guy who bought a machine gun from World War II.
Yeah.
So, and it was in good working condition. So police just raid him, took all his guns, and he lost all his license and got some maybe fines, but not in the jail.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that's not too bad. It's not like it's like 10 years in jail
Still,
or some shit.
but still, if you're a hunter, you lose your license and guns, and it's probably 5 years penalty.
Yeah. And if it's something you really like to do, then that totally sucks.
Yeah, that's what I'm basically. I'm doing music, and summer times I go for fishing. I live like 80 meters from the lake, and when autumn comes, I start hunting. I'm a bit antisocial and misanthropic, of course.
Seems that to be a common theme between you Finns and Norwegians, is statistically, is the suicide rate high in Finland? I heard, and I don't know how true that is, but supposedly the suicide rate in Norway is high.
I
Again, that's
think
just what I heard. I don't know how true that is.
I think Finnish suicide rate is one of the highest.
So it is. It's with okay. Why do you think that? Why do you think that is? Because it's dark as fuck there all the time? Like what? Like
That's a good question. Kind of. Okay, I think we are quite antisocial. For example, if you are in standing on a bus stop, there is always 2 meters gap with the people, and we don't speak to each other. And but like in Lapland, we have there is a couple of months that sun doesn't shine at all, so it's basically darkness all the time, and it's quite known that our brains need light, and
yeah,
there's always darkness. It's you get depressed, and
yeah. I've heard that. Yes, yeah.
when you live in a Lapland, maybe there is a 10 kilometers to the nearest neighbor, 100 kilometers to the shop. What do? You just fish and hunt and drink booze. Nothing else to do, So
Yeah.
it's a bit kind of, it can go depressive. I kind
I
of
wouldn't.
know.
I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like that at all.
I kind of love it as well, but but like past half a year, this winter, I've been basically I've been at home and at the studio to record my solo stuff. I don't visit hardly nowhere. I noticed that it's a bit like a hook that you can't swallow too deep because it's really hard to go nowhere anymore. You just isolate yourself even more and more all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably better off because society as a whole sucks. I mean, I'm not that I mean, I'm not that isolated. I'm really here at the warehouse, but yeah, when you are around people, most people just suck ass, and I want nothing to do with them
That's
anyway.
true.
So yeah, you're better off. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, just give me the 60 days of darkness. I'd be good too. Fuck it. You know.
of course I'm a social person kind of as well, and I like to chat with cool people, and but mostly people, they are fucking idiots,
Absolutely.
and I hate it. I hate it so.
Read my comic box and you'll know for sure. But not to cut you off, we're under a minute now. Again,
Okay, time
these
flies.
time totally flies. That's what everybody says. Yeah, I know. Time flies when you
Yeah,
have a good time. So
yeah.
yeah, we'll end it here. And again, we'll just I'll hit you up, keep an eye on when these videos come up, go up in about 9 days or so. And we'll
Okay.
see if people really want you back and shit. I can have you, you're easy to get a hold of. Some people are not. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So let them know in the goddamn comments, Devils, you want to see Sulphur back a burn? And put it in there, goddamn it. And maybe we'll have a part 3 later on. Later, guys.